boop, boop, beep, boop.
Well, we'll wait. We'll wait. I can't start this without you.
It's a good orange, man.
Oh my god. If I don't see this orange, we're not starting the show. PBat, turn it on. I know you're connected now.
It might be set up on, one sec.
Oh my god. I could feel my beard growing.
Okay, I shit you not. Skype says, Skype couldn't find a webcam.
Alright, well fine. Just putting your picture
man.
there.
Hold
Looks
on,
like
hold
it's
on,
just
hold on.
you and me, Chris. You can continue
boy.
messing with it. And that's that. Welcome
Yeah, no,
to...
it actually says that, yeah.
Let me say the welcome.
Okay, say welcome.
Welcome, PBat. And welcome to Podcast Simulator, episode number 18. I'm Smatter. PBat is here.
Hi.
Chris is here. And Fast is here.
my God.
dmbrandon
I
is...
just don't have a gamer tag anymore,
Hold on
evidently.
one second. Hold on one second.
Oh, what are you gonna do?
Breaking news. Drelo, Mass, Vicium, and Salt are all off enemy.
Oh, well then.
Did they all get
Okay.
kicked off?
Pain Devion
Kane's
does
still
it
on the
again.
team.
Pain Devion does it again.
Wait, real quick, give a little backstory on what happened last time for our listeners.
Oh my. Wow.
Somebody give a backstory for last time.
Okay, so last time,
Go
last
ahead.
year, I don't remember exactly when it was. I think it was like right after they qualified for Worlds, but Pain Devion just kicked everyone off enemy and then replaced it with 4 other people. And he just did that again.
Is anybody surprised?
No, but it's
I
still
am.
funny.
They got fucking second this year.
The guy is crazy.
He's a loose cannon.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta admire it, but it's like...
Ethot just tweeted what I'm thinking. He tweeted, last time Pain Devion restructured his team, there was reason the team wasn't winning. This team made it number 2 at Worlds. What?
You know
Yeah.
he's been holding that tweet. I mean, everyone's been holding it. F that. I know you're in the chat. I know you held that tweet.
Yeah, he is in the chat. Should have put a hashtag podcast simulator at the end.
Yeah, please. Yeah, now remake that tweet, put a podcast simulator on. Alright, so welcome to the show. Brandon is not here today. He is currently on the road driving back from Florida. It was his vacation. Yada,
I thought he was
yada,
driving
yada.
back from Hogwarts.
Oh, right. He's
Basically.
a flying
Yeah.
car back from Hogwarts.
Right.
He just fucking rented it. So for those of you who've never joined us, we're going to talk video game nonsense that happened the past week. And by nonsense, I mean important things. Like shitty teammates and team owners. And also how we had so many problems getting this launched. And I noticed my computer's having some trouble. My FPS is dropping for some reason. This computer has been a nightmare lately. I promise I will fix it. It's getting to be a problem, everybody. I'm so frustrated with it. I'm getting smart. I might just buy a whole new one, even though there's literally no reason to do that.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a way you can diagnose your problem.
Okay, I've tried everything. It has to be something with my CPU. If not, it's the fact I'm using a legacy OBS. Even though I managed to make it work using the legacy OBS, I should switch to the newer one, the multi-platform.
I don't know.
I
I
don't
tried
have
and I
the
didn't
new
like
one.
it.
Or stupid.
I did not like the new one.
It's better optimized for Windows 10. The old one doesn't have all the calls that it needs to run properly under some situations. That being said,
Right.
if you're just doing podcasting
Right.
and showing a couple of Skype things, you have a big problem if Legacy is giving you any issues.
If it is legacy, I noticed the computer stutters for a brief second, and I watch the FPS drop. Like your camera, it might be my GPU, honestly. Well, no. I don't know. The point is, I had to change my encoding to QuickSync, and that seemed to take a ton of load off my CPU, and I was able to stream again. But then it just gets worse over time. So it's possible there's some long-term damage to my CPU. But anyway, I'm not going to do long-term damage to your brains by talking about my own
You might.
problems.
Already crazy.
Good segue.
Yeah, it was a wonderful segue. So, undoubtedly one of the biggest things to come out of the past week, which is kind of hilarious, and no, it's not anything good, there was a lot of drama in the Dota 2 community.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about Pokemon. But okay.
I know.
I thought
I
we were going to
misled
talk
you.
about the guided meditation that you are once
Oh,
again trying to skip.
Oh, okay, all
We
right,
started
right.
late. We
All
can
right,
skip it this time.
No, I got it. Everybody close your eyes
Oh my
for a
God.
guided meditation. Imagine you are a 30-something Dota caster. You've got a nice British accent. You have a reputation for being entertaining, kind of charismatic, but a little bit off kilter. And you go to host a major Dota event, and you get there, and the production value is shit, so you take it out on everybody, making jokes about people, and inappropriate jokes for a large viewing audience. And as soon as you get off the camera, you get told that you are fired, and now you're back here at the podcast. Welcome back. So I did two things there.
Perfect.
I segued.
Good job.
I segued and did a guided meditation. So, for those of you who don't know, a caster known as James Toogood, he was fired from a.
That is a light way to put it.
He was nicely
Enthusiastically let go. Yeah.
And we'll do our best to outline the situation. I have I have all these links open in front of me, and I'll try to read accurately what happened.
James is an ass. There we go. That's how it starts.
Yeah, that's the title of his statement, and that is a reference to what Gabe Newell said. Gabe Newell said, "Well, let's not spoil it. Okay, let's go in chronological order." So
Okay.
this event, which is it's what the fucking Shanghai something or other, right? Oh my God, it's got a dumb name, Shanghai Major. Thank you.
Right.
It is a large Dota event. I believe the prize pool is about $3 million for this. He was asked, Toogood was asked to cast and to host this event. So on day one, and here are his own words. Oh, let's take it back before that, right? So his own words, and I've highlighted this in the document. He arrives in Shanghai, and he's told he's sharing a hotel room, and he has a problem with this. This sounds like Brandon, except Brandon always shares his hotel rooms.
Okay, after this, I got a topic. I'll keep going.
He writes, sharing a room isn't great when you're hosting over 10 hours a day, and you know you'll have to push your energy levels on camera to keep things entertaining. Plus, I'm too old for that these days. 33. Okay, not old. But I want my own space, so I ask his contact if they can upgrade my room and deduct it from my pay, which is $12,000. He was paid for the entire event. Perfect World relays this to Valve, which is the name of his friend, and suggests that he's demanding a suite. He is messaged by his friend and told, "What the fuck are you doing?" He's like, no, I'm not being a diva. They laugh it off, and blah, blah, blah. So, number one, he's complaining.
Right.
I realize he's like, it's not a crazy thing, and his tone may not have been that bad. But that's flag number one for me, right? And this is of his own admission. He's like, I need a single room. I get it, but like usually you say these things well in advance. Granted, he didn't know, but he should have contacted Valve himself. Mistake number one.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted to talk, Fats?
Oh no, it's about something else. Continue with this.
Okay. There's a lot to go through here. I mean, we can keep like
Interjecting.
yeah.
Okay, well, Vitium or Vetium from Enemy or ex-Enemy just posted a tweet longer with the following. We tried to kick Pain for reasons that you can ask him for. We tried out a new support and things were going great, but Chaos didn't enjoy games due to some team drama in the past. After talking with the Enemy organization, they're siding with Pain and Chaos with the whole situation, and now all four of us are kicked from the team. As of now, Mask, Salt, Drelo, and I don't have a full team, but I think it will resolve itself soon.
Nice.
Smiley face.
So we've got some live drama happening. Oh, let's get back to that a little bit towards the end of the show, because I'm sure
Yeah.
more things will have been said, so we can have a more complete picture. So everybody stay tuned, and if we don't, we'll just talk about what we do know. Back to the Dota drama. So,
Sports.
day one, he opens the event. There are some known things about this event, namely that it is like the worst of production value. Like, just mics are not working, people don't know what camera to look at. It's the classic production disaster, right? And people on like the Dota 2 subreddit are like pissed, and I get it. They have every right to be pissed about the production value. That is tangible, I
How
believe.
bad was it?
Pretty bad. It's like literally, it was really unacceptable. Like the cameras are moving. You can see. It's like I watched both his intro to the day one and day two, and even that was a mess. Like his mic is not working. I'll get to that. And like the cameras are moving. You can see. It's like I watched both his intro to the day one and day two, and even that was a mess. Like his mic is not working. I'll get to that. In the second day, like one of the panelists' mic is not working, and he like makes a joke about it, but you can tell he's kind of pissed and he handles it totally unprofessionally.
Mm.
He's like, oh, well, that's just ridiculous. Like he says. Like, literally.
Yeah.
And not in, like, a joking tone. Anyway, day one, he makes a joke. And Chris, you can correct me on this joke. He makes a joke. I'm trying to find it in his words.
I don't remember
Oh,
exactly.
no, he opens
what...
up the show with a joke that goes something like this. He asks the guests how they are. They all respond. And he says, that's great, but no one asks how the host is. And the panel says, well, how are you doing? Too good. And he says, well, not great, actually, because he had a bit of a scare last night. His pre-hosting ritual was unsuccessful. Last night, as he was browsing the TV channels in a hotel for some adult entertainment, it turns out that a Chinese hotel had disabled pornography. Nobody laughs.
Well, that seems
It
like
was-
an overshare, dude. Like
It was super crickets.
you
Super
just don't-
crickets.
You don't
No
say
one-
that.
Yes, no, it's like borderline cringeworthy.
Yeah.
No one knew what to say to him.
So-
Nobody.
Like, let's walk back through this for a second. In spite of the production value, right? You can change your production company. You can get a whole new group of people. You've got this caster now, your host, leading things off with a porn joke. That
What
is
did he
literally
say?
when the most people are watching.
Wow.
You don't do that. Like, you just don't do that. See, I guess I'll hold this till later. I want to talk about I wish Brandon was here so badly. Because I know
For once, right?
I know, for once, I wish he was here to fucking be like, no, shut up and listen to me. This is how it is to be a host and caster. Bleh.
Well, I know about a little bit about hosting. I've hosted like 2 events so far in my elusive career as a host.
Your elusive career.
And I
It
can
was
tell you
like
that,
taunting you. It was
it's been
being
bad.
coy.
It was Loki decoying me, and I was confused.
So anyway,
You don't do that. You open it up by, welcome to, this is the event. These are the teams playing. This is what you're gonna see today. Blah blah blah. You don't say, "Hey, my dick was out 2 minutes ago."
yeah. Yeah. You don't act like you just came from a fierce spanking or a fierce unsuccessful spanking.
Yeah.
Also, I'm convinced he can do it himself without pornography. I mean, anyone
Seems like an
can.
imaginative guy.
Yeah, he's a very creative dude. So then after he gets off camera, he's told, "Hey man, ease up on the porn jokes." That came directly from Gabe, right? So this is warning number 1. This is the second This is his first red flag, the second overall red flag.
You know it's bad when Gabe has to say something.
Dude,
Like, stop
Gabe
with the
doesn't
porn
say
jokes.
anything.
Gabe
Stop
never
with the
says-
porn
I
jokes, or we're
know.
delaying Half-Life 3 again. It's like, oh, shit.
Oh,
Delaying, he
don't make
says.
that joke.
Gabe is like leaning into his cheeseburger, about to take a bite, watching on his fucking tablet, and he's like, "What did he just say?"
Tablet, not his tablet, but half his house.
His home theater.
Yeah, his fucking wall
home
lights up.
theater.
The fucking wall splits up and down, and it's just a giant screen. And it's fucking too good. Like, there was no porn in the hotel room. And he's like, "What?" A good drop of cheese drops from the burger.
Can you
onto the
stop
plate.
trying to slander all fat people, dickhead?
I'm Danu. I'm the hugest man on the planet.
Jesus.
I am
Christ.
also
Oh my
benevolent,
God, Sam.
but I am hungry and mad. I too love
All right, settle
Shanghai
down.
porn.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
there is
a
James.
line
Can
when
we
a joke is
move
done.
on, please?
All right. So he's told no by Gabe. All right. We know we don't do that. You don't joke about these things. Quite literally, the largest audience of these types of games is children. I know we're all adults, but most of this group of gamers is children.
Our children.
Yeah. Most is.
Oh,
Most are-
okay,
fuck,
okay,
it's plural.
okay. Brandon's not here, and let's keep it that way.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to police this for Brandon's sake. So day 2
Do it
starts.
for Brandon.
He provides a link in this document to the segment that got him fired. And he calls it that. I watched this entire 11-minute disaster. It is literally one of the worst things I've ever seen. It is cringy beyond belief. The production value certainly doesn't help it, right? There's no, like, direction in the way the cameras move. But the people are sitting there and they're, like, not responding. They're not being people. And he continues to make jokes. He plays a game of tic-tac-fucking-toe on a fucking whiteboard. It is
In the middle
madness.
of in the middle of the host.
And he comments
Wait,
too.
what?
He starts playing tic-tac-toe with one of the panelists. Also,
Why?
while kind of insulting him.
Well, because it's just I don't know. He's being disrespectful and abrasive. I don't know.
So let's
Thinks he's
go.
being funny.
Let's go over this. It's comes off. It's irrelevant, right?
Yeah.
So Gabe is right to be a little bit pissed. So it's not even focusing on the content that it's supposed to. Granted, they were waiting for the game to start, so there was like a little bit of that awkward, like, time span.
But that's not what you do. You
That's-
talk about the game. You talk
exactly.
about your expectations.
You would
Like,
literally
that's-
do anything on topic.
Yeah.
Instead, he plays a game of tic-tac-toe, right?
Yeah. That's absurd.
What?
He goes on to he insults people in a joking fashion, and it's like there's awkward responses. Again, this could have been saved by some tasteful cuts from the director. I firmly believe there was no director for this production. It looked like it was produced by like a turkey sandwich.
Smite game 3 weeks ago. Not joking. 3 years ago.
Yeah,
Which is just here's the game. That's it.
it's like the whole thing was like directed from my computer, which is fucking up.
The fucking up motherboard.
I'm not laughing because I'm actually upset by that.
Oh, rip. Rest in peace.
So
Did your pre-podcast ritual not work out?
yeah, no, I tried to jerk off, but you know I'm in my own house and I don't have any porn, and I can only get off the specific stuff because I'm not creative in any way.
Liza Minnelli.
Nothing like Liza to get the juices flowing.
So I think his excuse for his behavior was probably my favorite part of the entire thing, though.
Well, okay, let me get to his media response from the higher ups after this. So he gets out of this segment, right? And he's told, "You're fired." And he's like, "What?" He gets an email from Gabe. He looks at it on his phone. He can't say what it says, but it's about 3 to 4 sentences. And it apparently doesn't explain why. So he asked why to his friend. His friend says, "You made like a bottom bitch joke," which he did, and he was being disrespectful towards players. And he justifies this joke that was at the expense of the player as, "For the record, the bottom bitch joke was about Waga/Sing, personal friends of mine who have both contacted me for support, so it wasn't out of place." You're wrong again.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it's absolutely out of place.
Your personal relationship with the players has nothing to do with your professional position as a host of an event.
It's madness.
Like when I hosted the fucking Cogvitational, as the host, I didn't make any joke. As an interviewer, I made jokes when we're talking, and the people know these players, so I can make those jokes in little, tiny pokes at them because they're right there to respond. As a host, they can't say anything.
Yeah, exactly. That's like imagine talk about like the Smite World Championship. That's like Brandon like joking with Bart in such a way that was like uncomfortable for everybody. Like, it's just like, yeah, an hour. Like, what do you think of this, Bart? You piece of shit, faggot motherfucker. Like all these things. That's like him
The way
saying
you
that.
said that was terrible.
Yeah, you like.
I didn't know what
stuttered.
insult I wanted to go.
Had to select last
I also had to
moment,
be careful I don't actually insult Bart because I like Bart. I don't know why, like, faggot came out as 2 different words. Like, this is fucking the 1920s.
So you're saying that if Bart was here, you would call him that, but because he's not and you're a host of an event.
Right, it's more difficult for me to insult him when he's not currently with me. Faggot is what I said, according to the chat. Thank you, FG
You had to
Hammer.
be quiet because you didn't want him to hear you.
Yeah, I don't want him to hear me.
GM is the most-
He's in the next
GM
room.
sense.
He's in the next room. But it's that level of ridiculousness and, like, just pure... there's, like, no words to describe how, like, unprofessional that is, right? It's just awful. You don't do that. But he was my friend. That's like me joking with a coworker. That's like me slapping a female coworker of mine on the ass and be like, "What? Come on, we're friends." Like that. You don't do that in the work environment.
Yeah.
It is genuinely disgusting. Things progress. He's like confused. He doesn't know what to say. So he's pulled aside by Valve. They said like, "Hey, let's take this situation, make it private." And he goes, "All right, fine. Maybe we can resolve this privately." He wakes up to what is by far my favorite beatdown I have ever borne witness to. Gabe Newell posts on Reddit. Now, before I get to what he posts, Reddit went apeshit. Because for whatever reason, they love this guy. They love Too Good. They think he's a wonderful caster. He's entertaining. All of the above. But
Because he's BM. I mean, it's the Dota community is a gaming community, and for whatever reason, a lot of gaming communities seem to love when people are assholes. They think it's hilarious, and that.
Yeah, it drives a weird sort of storyline. as people aren't typically villains in these environments. They're usually anti-heroes, and anti-heroes are the hardest selling things on the planet for most of the age group of people who play these games. Therefore, you're more likely to root for Scorpion than you are for Johnny Cage.
Yeah.
You're more likely to root for
Shadow instead of Sonic.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's true, but I hate you.
PBat, but yes,
I hate you, PBat.
it's a fact. It's the edge factor.
There we go.
He's the edgiest one, so they always gotta vote for the edgy. So I mean, when it comes to like actually being an asshole, but quote unquote playing it off jokingly, people eat that shit up. That's why people don't like DM, because he doesn't play it off because he's being serious.
Yeah. Well, I wish he was here for this too. But see, Brandon would never do this live and in an event. Like he would never.
No, there's a difference though.
He does it on his own channel, and he's certainly allowed to.
That's his thing. But the problem here is that a person took their own personal initiative to say, you know what? I don't care that I'm representing a huge, gigantic company. I'm gonna be myself 100% of the way. But being myself, I'm a giant douchebag. Come watch and find the fuck out.
Brandon literally got his rise out of being like the angry nerds' wet dream, right? He's just like super smart, super mean, and just knows what to say at the right time.
And he's also a dickhead.
And also just being a dickhead. However, Brandon does not do this when hosting an event. If you watch Brandon on camera during any official Smite event...
Jim has never hosted an event.
Right, but even so when he's on camera, he is still restrained.
Agreed. He has a professional air about him. He understands.
Ironically, the Smite Reddit hates Brandon, but I guess the Dota 2 subreddit loves Too Good, which is kind of funny. Interesting parallel.
That's funny.
So he quotes that he says, Too Good says that he wakes up to this post from Gabe Newell, and I will read it. The title of it is An Update from Shanghai Major, Gabe Newell's Reddit account. He writes 2 things, : 1, James. We've had issues with James at previous events. Some Valve people lobbied to bring him back for Shanghai, feeling that he deserved another chance. That was a mistake. James is an ass, and we won't be working with him again. 2, as long as we're firing people, we are also firing the production company that we've been working with on the Shanghai Major. They will be replaced, and we hope to get this turned around before the main event. As always, I can be reached at GabeN@valvesoftware.com. Gabe.
God damn. There was like an appropriate level of savagery in that. That was good.
He just like him turning. Ah! He throws his burger.
I want to clarify real quick what he means by we've had trouble with James in the past. This man said the hard R live during a cast for Dota 2. I can't remember which for one of the international events. I don't remember which one it was, but yes, that happened.
What?
Holy shit.
I won't even say that on this podcast, and I just said faggot. Fats, can you say it? PBat, can you say it?
What?
I'm not saying it, man. I'm not treading that water.
Welcome to Dota 2. Say whatever you want. Be yourself.
And the best part is, if you go deeper into that thread, into that same thread, where there are a whole bunch of people who are like, yeah, you know what, James, actually, like, if we were just a whole bunch of gamers, like, watching a personal stream would be one thing, but, for esports, it's not okay. And one of the replies to that is, well, I mean, he only said the hard R one time the last time he got fired, and he apologized for it later, so it was fine, right?
Oh,
wait, slow down. You tell me this dude who just got in trouble said nigger.
Fats, yes. No! Take that stream down!
He actually said it.
Yes.
Yeah. Weren't you listening?
It was TI4. They're saying.
I did not catch that.
The International 4, evidently, is when this was said live by this man.
God. Again,
by this same person.
That's like me calling a black coworker the N-word at work, and then going into my HR exit interview and saying, "I only said it once." That is.
I guess it all depends where you work.
It depends on where you work, right? If you work in like a rap battle stadium, you can probably say it.
A rap battle stadium.
Yeah, I don't know where they host rap battles.
The stadium for rap battle.
Where
The
did-
one and only
That
rap
might
battle
be-
stadium.
That might be the whitest thing I've ever heard.
No, where did fucking Eminem in 8 Mile, that like underground
That
place?
was
That's a
not
rap
a
battle.
stadium.
That's not a rap battle stadium.
Stadium. That's not a thing.
Yes, it is.
Rap battle stadium.
Rap battle
Oh,
stadium.
I'm gonna die.
Make sure you're all here for that. That's the name of the podcast. That's this week's episode. Rap battle stadium.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely gonna be it. Okay, so
It's like Pokemon Stadium with rap artists.
yeah, I know, right?
Go, Eminem.
Future, I choose you.
And like you do more damage if the crowd's behind you.
Yeah, shut up.
Oh my god. Alright, so anyway, it's like we don't know. Do you know the context in which he said it, Chris?
The content? I have no idea. I haven't watched any of the international events with sound on, so if it happened, I didn't hear it.
I'm
But,
usually pretty good at making up context for things and justifying stuff, but there's no way I could justify the N-word on the international
Absolutely
floor.
not.
There's no way you could justify the N-word at all.
Oh no, I
Not
can
just
say
on
it.
the internet.
Oh, as soon as I
Okay.
turn the stream off and the recording off, I'm just
You
gonna
can
say
say
it.
it,
Flying.
but it's not justified.
It's at the end of every podcast. I just say it to you guys a bunch of times.
That's how you know we're up there. Always be there.
Yeah, that's like our post-mortem for the episode.
All right, you bunch of N-words, get out of here.
No, it's much meaner.
Skedaddle.
Skedaddle. Go on, get.
Get boy.
Too much. Too soon.
That's not what I meant, but
Too triggered.
Podcast is over. Get back in the box.
Why is it a box?
I don't know.
what's a rap? It's like a rap battle stadium. That's a box,
The
right?
Rap Battle Stadium box. It's not Pokeballs, it's boxes.
All right, boys,
Get
back in the
cage,
box.
Boy. Good bars out there.
All right. So he moves on to then attack Valve employees, right? And he plays this card that the Valve employees are this elite crew and they drink the Kool-Aid and there's all this nonsense. He provides examples of Valve being fucking boys club, right? So, example 1. From talks with Valve employees, it seems easy to recommend your friends for a job interview. Many friends take this. The friends' percentage of getting hired is probably overall quite low, and thus more do not get hired than hired. That's every job interview. Now you are drinking with your friend at the bar, and he or she wasn't good enough for Valve. You see? Little things like this, and they add up. And I spot it on people. Not everyone within the company. There are these... his way of writing is awful. He writes, not everyone within every company. There are the self-aware, and then there are the Kool-Aid drinkers. For the record, I've never interviewed at Valve or been asked. Right, so he makes a point about how Valve employees are cliquey. He also makes a point of how when your friends interview at Valve, they don't get hired. That's...
That doesn't make any sense.
and then he proceeds to debunk his own point by saying, for the record, I've never interviewed at Valve. Also, like... And he hasn't been asked, right? So, like, where is the relevance? He does not strengthen his argument here at all. Example...
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Wait, get ready for example 2. Valve
Okay.
employees are known to be very highly paid. You are the elite. Are you? Do you believe your financial income is your worth? And do you compare that with others? Some might. So he's saying some people are on their high horse because of how much they get paid.
That's oh god.
That's everywhere. I have a feeling he grew up on, not on this planet, because it's madness to think that people just don't act that way in general. I am also more inclined to believe that you may be on a high horse if you work at Valve, not because of how much money you make, just because you work at Valve.
Yeah, I mean, they own PC gaming.
They're the biggest private gaming company, private company, right? I don't know what I would describe them as, because they've got their hands in many pots. His third example is exactly my point. You work at the coolest game company on paper? Maybe. I don't know, it's hard to say, but fans think you are cool. You are because you are great, which is fine, or are you because you are so much greater than the rest. So again, he's like saying, well, Valve employees think they're the best. This is written from the most disorganized and hurt place.
Yeah, you can tell it's very, very fueled by emotion.
The crux of his argument is that, like, he was trying to be a good guy, he was trying to sweep this under the rug, handle it privately, but then Gabe made this Reddit post. Now, Gabe had to respond to the Reddit furor.
Of course.
Valve employees do check the Dota 2 subreddit, and they're calling for action and things. And he addressed their two big problems: Too Good and the production. They're both gone.
Gabe did it himself, which is the crazy thing.
Yeah, and Gabe never does it. So let's look at this whole situation, right? This is, I don't understand if this person is an adult, a living, breathing adult, how he doesn't understand how to be an adult. He doesn't get it. He doesn't understand how to be professional. Even if you're being the biggest piece of shit on the planet, and like you're being wronged, you do not take it out on your former employer this way, let alone a major figure in the gaming industry where you hope to make a career.
Well, okay, so there's something that you missed. I think he didn't put it in his official response, but he put it in like either a tweet or a Reddit post that happened beforehand. He said that Ice Frog told him to just be himself as a host instead of be professional. And he's blaming Valve for not properly communicating between Ice Frog and Gabe that he was allowed to be an ass. I can't make this up.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so even if Ice Frog has the ability,
Dude, he's freaking losing it.
even if he has the ability to be himself, and it is given to him by a Valve employee who's a major figure in the Dota committee, Ice Frog, he was still warned after day one. There is literally no way he could not have seen this coming. That's fucking madness. He gets word from Gabe fucking Newell himself before Gabe flips his shit on Reddit. This guy is the absolute biggest idiot and child he's that I have ever seen. I'm sorry, I just had a Brandon moment.
You just fucking triggered.
No, I'm just this.
There we go.
Okay,
That was
this
hype.
this is my biggest problem with like gaming, and esports is a problem. Everyone is fucking children, and they act like fucking children. If we ever want this to be legitimate, if we ever want it to be viewed and respected by the rest of the world, and not just, they're just playing video games, it's not really a sport from the rest of the world. If we want to get rid of that, we need to act like fucking professionals. He is older than most of the people involved in professional gaming. It is absolutely insane. My mind is touching the fucking void right now, thinking that he thinks that this is okay. It's crazy.
Well, the biggest problem too is that if you look at the Dota 2 Reddit, the majority of the Dota 2 Reddit is actually in support of James, not of Valve, because they're saying that they all found what James is doing entertaining, edgy, and that clearly Valve has a major communication problem for allowing this kind of miscommunication to happen, where James didn't mitigate what he was saying.
See, but that's just because it's a bunch of kids. They don't understand professionalism. They understand it from like an entertainment standpoint,
Yep,
but they don't
but-
understand it from being professional.
He said the N-word.
But the problem is
Be
that
yourself.
James is not actually going to learn anything from this.
I know,
All
that's
he's gonna
what
learn is that
makes
Valve
me
is
maddest of
being
all.
dicks.
He doesn't fucking get it. He's gonna be 40-something and be like, oh, I guess I was kind of an ass, when he doesn't have a fucking career in video games.
Yeah.
I just don't understand how you could throw that away. How you could even like, how you could even behave like that. You know, it's a thing that I've come to realize. I've been an adult in many situations, and I've been more. You may think I'm a crazy person, psycho, who just likes to say faggot and joke around, but I am probably more put together than you know, and can be very professional in the right settings. I know the difference between these things, and there are people I've worked with, people who are older than me, that just never get it. They never grow up. They do not know how to react with people. And I don't know if it's like a mental problem or if it's like a lack of ability to perceive. But
I think it's just an ego thing.
It most likely is an ego thing in this case. He has the Reddit sucking his dick. He has Gabe shoving his fingers in his ass, and he doesn't feel it.
Yeah, well.
That's a very clear
Hot
picture.
dogs down the hallway.
Well,
Okay.
And there's another thing I noticed in here that makes me mad, right? And there's a problem that I see with the League of Legends professional community, is that like posting Skype logs for like official means of communication is madness. Like there's no standard for communication. Like, if this were a business, which it fucking should be, which is why I made all of you juice fuckers get emails and check calendars, there should be an agreed upon means of communication that is the official means of communication. If you threw Skype logs like this at me saying, like, just be yourself from IceFrog, I could not take that as official communication, and I'm certain Valve could prove that in court. Should he decide to go that route.
Yeah.
He won't. He would never.
I don't know. This guy has the biggest ego, and
He doesn't have the money to fight Valve in court. You need to
Exactly.
understand that for a second. We have this legal system where you think you can sue anyone, but who you can sue is people poorer than you. Because if they have more money, they can be in court longer until you just can't afford to pay your lawyer anymore.
Exactly.
I hope he gets a nice harsh lesson and shit rolls downhill, and he's just gonna get fucking toppled by it. I really want.
It's a lot of ill will, Sam. It's a lot of ill will.
No, and like about a game I don't even play in a community I'm not super familiar with, admittedly.
Yeah, but I mean, it's gaming and esports in general. Like, if you're passionate about one thing, you should be passionate about all of it, really. Like, I think it's more so you're passionate about esports in general rather than just Dota.
I know.
And, like, people taking it seriously.
Like, I even say this with, I say this every time, and like, yeah, we talk about how like, sometimes people are unprofessional on their own Twitter accounts or on their own streams, and that like, well, it's completely separate from their public face when they're playing the game. I do think they need to be unified. Like, again, like, talking trash is a part of real sports, but it is swept under the fucking rug. They have had decades to perfect that nonsense. Esports needs to act like that. They need to behave in-game as they do in real life. And yeah, that's like a harsh lesson for gamers, because it's like, it's a new form of entertainment. It's a new industry. But they need to catch up. They need to play catch up if they want to be legitimized. I'm sorry, that is one of the biggest things holding the whole thing back.
Well, and that's my biggest issue with the fact that the Dota 2 subreddit is doubling down so hard on James's stuff being okay, because that gives people in other scenes who might be that way more of a, like, I don't want to say an in, but it makes them feel like maybe what they're doing is more okay. God, who is that Smite wannabe caster who?
Oh, Fats?
Fats, you're gonna know who I'm not talking about Fats.
He's muted.
Fats would know who I'm talking about, though. God, what was he kept saying that people on the other team were getting raped, and then he said something else.
Oh, I know who you're
That
talking
was on
about.
it was the Juice game or the tournament Juice was in when they were playing
Yeah.
Xbox.
Yeah, I know
Like
exactly
the
what you're
verb-
talking about.
To rape?
Yeah,
Yes,
yes. He was being very, very unprofessional, and I don't remember who it was, but I remember his like friend was a caster before him, and he got him in, I think.
Yeah, it was
You're
something like
talking
that.
about Brazzers.
Yes.
That was quite a fun night. I'll tell you that much.
I mean,
he was
if I-
casting a Juice game. I got you. I was super drone monster that night. He's casting a Juice versus Who Gives a Shit game, and he kept mentioning DM. Well, first off, he kept saying it as if DM owned the team.
Right.
Just because
I
they
mean,
had
he does
Juice
own
in
my
there.
mother, but he doesn't own the team.
Now he can't own the team because he's a caster, and he can't have any stake in competitive Smite. Two, his word choice was absolutely atrocious.
The worst.
I mean, he named himself Brazzer. Like,
I expected him to be garbage. We didn't know his name during the cast though. His name was never said. We found out during. There was a bunch of me and other Smite personalities in the chat, and like at one point, there was a team fight, and you guys just mentioned this. The back line was getting bodied like by some team, and the kid literally says he's literally raping the back line.
Wait, did he literally say literally?
Yes.
yes,
Oh my god.
that makes it
was
worse.
verbatim. That was exactly what
He
he
used
said.
the hard R in rape too?
Use the hard L.
Oh my Christ. And has he been heard from again?
No.
No, absolutely not. That was the last night.
That stream, I forgot what stream it was on. It was on some company.
One of the smaller like
It was-
esports companies trying to get started.
Mortality. They tweeted apologizing for having him on there. The kid who brought him on there had to apologize for even bringing him into light. And then he started. The kid himself was just tweeting, "Haha, trolled you all."
I
So
Yeah,
I went
like,
in the chat.
Well then,
The Dota 2 subreddit is basically saying stuff like that is
It
hilarious
wasn't
and
Mortality,
okay.
apparently. It was somebody else. Oh, whatever. I don't remember.
That's like
So that's
when you're a child and you like listen to comedians and you laugh at like fart jokes and dick jokes all day, and then you're like, wow, that's kind of just like not doesn't make for good humor. It's just funny because it's playing for laughs and it's cheap humor, and then you start to appreciate higher brow stuff. It's like
It was
the Dota
terrible.
2 community is children who love seeing dongs on the screen, and then I almost laughed at my own joke.
I mean, like,
God
that's-
damn it! I'm
That's
not making my
that's not a
point.
joke though. You can actually draw dicks on the minimap in that game.
I
and
know
that's
that's
all
what
that
that's what I meant. But when I said dongs on screen, it sounded like I was being a child. I'm making a joke that they would laugh at. But it's like that sort of thing. You realize like one of the fundamental rules of improv is avoid blue humor. It doesn't mean you can't make a penis joke. It doesn't mean you can't have a character fart in a scene, right? But it means don't rely on that. And it shouldn't have to rely on that. It should be entertaining by virtue of what it is. It should be entertaining because it is a production, it is an event, it is a game. It should be entertaining in the same way that a sports game is entertaining. It should be fun to watch. And the host should reflect that.
well, you know what they say.
What?
I don't know. I was hoping you'd know what they say.
Oh. I am,
You know what's fun to play though? Pokemon. You want to know it's 20 years old? What, yesterday?
Pokemon.
not even half of the gaming community.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't. Fats. I know you're super into Pokemon, man. I watch streams a lot, but you're a big fan. But like, I
Big
just
fan,
I don't know.
Fats.
Pokemon just I don't know. It's lost its flavor to me. For me, it's like it's the same game every single time with like maybe one or two new features and just a couple
You
couple
play
new Pokemon.
Sonic games.
Stop.
Well, no,
stop,
I know.
stop. Let's not
But-
do this because he's not being facetious.
I
There's
know,
no
I
need for you
know,
to be a
I know.
dickhead.
Like,
Jeez, Chris.
Oh,
I'm
get
not
out of here,
dead.
too good, Chris.
Like I played a lot of Pokemon
Okay.
when I was a kid. Like I played Pokemon Red, I played Pokemon. I think I had Silver, I had Ruby, and Emerald. But like since then, I don't know. I just couldn't get into
So you've
it.
only played the first 3 generations.
I think so. Yeah. Well, no, I
Okay,
played other
well,
generations. Like I played Pokemon X.
I'll give you,
I just,
I'll give you the hot rundown. I'll give you the hot rundown of what's introduced in every generation. Easy way.
cool.
Generation 1, Pokemon are introduced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Generation 2, to further balance the game, they added 2 new types, Steel, Dark type, and the ability to go for 16 badges and more Pokemon, obviously. Number 3, Generation 3, they added more Pokemon contests to add something else to the game. Not more types, but brand new world that has oceans where you can go above and below water, and a really big branching storyline that involves all the legendaries instead of how Pokemon Generation 1 and 2 were just like, there's legendary Pokemon, get all the badges.
Yeah.
Generation 2, get all the badges everywhere. There's legendary Pokemon, but like, here's this hidden boss battle, and that's the really cool factor of second generation. Generation 4 added, Generation 2 added 3 added abilities and natures. Generation 4 added a special physical split, which allowed more competitive play, because Pokemon has been played competitive in every single generation.
Yeah.
Because Nintendo will back Pokemon, but not Smash Bros. Request. But they'll back the fuck out of Pokemon easily. So there's always balance adjustments every generation to fix shit up. Generation 4 added a special physical split, which meant that your special defense and your physical defense mattered a lot more because there were special moves and physical moves of the same type. When in the first 3 generations, depending on the type, it was always physical or it was always special. Grass was always a special move until 4th generation. Leaf Blade. In Generation 3, it was a special move. Generation 4 forward, it was a physical move because it's fucking Leaf Blade, not Leaf Suck or some shit. Okay?
Yeah.
Added a lot more gameplay elements. Wi-Fi, through the use of the Nintendo DS, made the game so much better. Intensely better.
Yeah.
Because you could play with people online, you could trade, do all the cool shit that they would brag about in Generation 1, but you didn't have to have a fucking link cable. Generation 5. Alright, Gen 5 sucked.
Which one was Gen 5?
Well, yeah. Which one was Gen 5?
Black, white,
White.
black,
Why
white,
do people
black
hate
2,
it?
black 2.
Black White was not a fun generation. The reason people hated it is Generation 1 through 4, you could catch any Pokemon in that region. It consisted of all the new Pokemon they put in. Plus, here's some old Pokemon like, here's a Ponyta or here's a Azumarill. So Pokemon from previous generations were available. Gen 5 tried to reinvent Gen 1 for people, and it was legitimately, here's Gen 5. You can only play or catch the Gen 5 Pokemon in this game.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Gen 5 meant you could not catch 1 through 4 at all. It was only Gen 5 Pokemon.
Yeah,
Which
that's kind of
currently the
wonky.
game I'm currently stuck on Nuzlocke because I hate
So
it.
I think PBat's point was that not much had changed, and I think you just provided a long list of changes of things.
No, there's still more though, because that's not everything.
Right.
You forgot
Generation
held
6.
items in 2, by the way.
Oh yeah, hold on. There's a bunch of stuff that's been added in each generation to further increase people's willingness to play them. Mini games, side quests, you can call them, other options rather than the number one mantra of every Pokemon game, which is catch, beat badges, become league champion. That's every Pokemon game
Mhm.
Right.
at its basic core. But here's more stuff to do. Now go to the Pokeathlon. Now go to Pokemon contest. Now here's this. Now here's this. Blah blah blah. More and more has been added. These new games, the titles were leaked last year. I've known about Pokemon Sun and Moon since last year.
How were they
There
leaked?
was
Korea.
the titles. The titles. That's the only thing that's been told about the game so far, correct?
Yep.
All you know is Gen 7, this is Gen 7, is coming out later this year, and it's in 9 languages. Because
And
that's
some
the
concept
only-
art.
Yeah, if you pause within the 1 second they show it. But that's all you know so far. We learned about the game's artwork was, what was that, June last year? June, July? People knew about that?
Yeah, it was leaked by some Korean event or whatever.
Yeah, it's been known about for a while. Now it's just a confirmation that there's a Gen 7, which is good, but there's still a problem because Gen 6 is kind of left unfinished. But whatever, we'll come to that a different day.
But fundamentally, the formula of combat hasn't changed that much since the addition of Natures, I believe, correct?
No, the split. 4th Gen is what really gave it life.
Right. See, I think for me it's more of like because it seems like a lot of the changes you mentioned were really really good for like competitive play and stuff like
Exactly.
that. But for me,
And-
like as a
and for
casual
the-
player,
And as a casual, the split makes it a lot more fun. Because Pokemon that you like that sucked don't suck anymore.
right.
That's still fun. You know what I'm saying? That's still fun.
Yeah.
Good time to see all the non-trash new stuff.
I mean, that's part of the problem I have with the games too. It's like I got super excited for X and Y, and I even bought a 3DS for it. I played through it. I loved it. I'm like, oh, I gotta collect all these Pokemon, blah blah. But I just end up favoring the same Pokemon, and I don't like competitive nor care to learn for it. And I'm like,
Mhm.
well, now what do I do? Battle
Yeah,
my
well,
friends.
That's why they always have. You can battle your friends. You can trade online. There's the one thing they added in Gen 3, which was I think this. No, they actually added a baby version of it, Gen 2, called the Battle Tower, which is you beat the game, and then here's a bunch of battles you can do afterwards that get you badges in this new zone. Gen 3 was expanded out to be the Battle Frontier, or is that 4th? I don't care. They're both the same thing. It just grows and grows and grows. The game can be played a lot of different ways at the casual level because it's not only about, like, it's always the same formula of do this, do that, but then the community has made rule sets that you can play by, like Nuzlocke, like the thing I
Right.
do. All that makes it way more fun as just a basic game at the very beginning. It's fun. And Pokemon, it has the same formula because it's not a bad formula.
Right.
It's really not.
I'm saying I play Pokemon games. Like I've played them pretty consistently. When I pick one up, I just run through that. I exhaust the game so quickly. In the same way that like every time I play a new WoW expansion, I exhaust all the content. I'm like, oh, I'm just raiding to get gear to do more raids.
Yep.
But I feel like I enjoy that more. But that's besides the point. I feel like Pokemon hasn't innovated, and I'm interested to see what they do. They do this generation. Granted, I think like XY was a major step up. But it was still not enough to break the formula for me, to break my ritual with Pokemon games.
Well, yeah, that's a personal thing. I mean, all it's gonna do is help you do more stuff. That's every Pokemon game is. Here's a little more. Here's a little more. Here's a little more.
And
Yeah,
so
Double
why do you
battles.
keep coming back?
Triple
Me?
battles.
Me, I enjoy every aspect of Pokemon. I enjoy the casual level. I enjoy competitive level because I like to learn about it. I don't play it that well anymore, but I really do enjoy it. I also really love the designs. Even the dumb ones are really awesome. And somebody could just
Like the
come
key
up, like,
Pokemon or
think
whatever?
of it. Yeah, people complain about, oh, these Pokemon are so unoriginal. Gen 1 is the best. Fucking Voltorb is a Pokeball.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not
Grimer
sold on
is
that
li-
as a good concept.
Grimer is literally doo-doo.
So is Ditto. Ditto.
Ditto is pink cum.
Hey, whoa!
Grimer
Hey.
is purple cum. Like, it doesn't matter.
Ah!
There's nothing special on
Stop!
Gen 1.
They're family. It's a family game.
Shut up. Here's
People
a
are
bu-
just blinded by nostalgia. That's all it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
think that's
always
what
the
it is.
problem. And
The original is always the best.
I can tell you, Gen 1, as someone pointed out, Gen 1 had a seal named Seal. Talk about originality. Game 1
Wasn't
is
that the
just-
translation though? Like a lot of that stuff, like the original, our names for things.
You want the Japanese name?
What is it?
I got you. Hold on.
Suru.
Suru.
That'd be funny if it was.
Please tell me it's something.
Japanese name is it's Pao. That's weird.
That's probably a Japanese word for seal.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably.
It may be misspelled, right? Like add an extra vowel, replace a vowel rather.
That's probably how it is, honestly.
So at the
What else
moment,
we got?
we don't know a lot about Sun and
No,
Moon.
we know nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only tidbits of information you have about Sun and Moon are 2 new games. We don't know what system it is yet. We
It's
think
3DS.
It's
They
gonna be
said
3DS,
3DS
yeah.
family. They said 3DS family.
3DS family, which means it's gonna be a new 3DS, which means everybody has to get a new system. Everybody's gonna have to get a new system for this game, most likely. That's the big fear right now.
Mm.
We also know it's gonna be in 9 languages because that's their selling point right now. And
We also know it's probably gonna be 3D
it's Gen
too.
7. It's Gen 7. Generation 7. Every generation adds new mechanics. So Generation 7 is a big deal for competitive players, of course.
I
But
wonder
how
what
can they
they'll
go?
add.
How can they go up from Mega Pokemon though? Like,
Mega Pokemon was a super casual and super dumb competitive idea. What they could do, and the thing we've all been asking for, is here's old Pokemon. Give them evolutions. Regular, basic ass evolutions.
Right.
We can hope and dream.
That'd be
Rip
fun.
Far-fetched.
far-fetched. I remember when they were doing a lot of the megas, and also every generation they usually tend to go back and add some kind of weird trait evolution, like they did for Electabuzz and Magmar.
Yep.
People were doing. There was so much fake art for like mega far-fetched.
There's always gonna be fake art. That's the fun part about it, though, is weeding through all the fakes. It's exciting. You know what the most exciting thing was when Gen 6 was announced and they showed the starters? Imagining what those would turn into.
Yeah,
Seeing
that's
all the fan art that showed what they could possibly
No,
be.
that's a weeb wet dream.
Well, I mean, that's where a lot of the creativity comes from, is the community, man. Like that's where it's all, because I mean, like the community arguably is like the people who care about it most. It's like it's just really cool to see what the people who care about it, would do with it.
and I really love that the
It's a very
community
fun
has
The
has
community
endured
gets behind
so.
Mega Farfetch'd.
That would be godlike. I love that the community's been around for so long. I mean, Pokemon's been around pretty much my entire life.
I mean, arguably,
That I can
Pokemon's probably
remember.
like the biggest gaming franchise besides like Mario. Like
Yeah,
Mario's
Mario's been around.
probably good, but like Pokemon's
Mario's
huge.
always been the same thing, too.
Mm-hmm.
Get to the end of the stage. Jump on people's heads or shoot fireballs. Get to the end of the stage.
You know, the
True.
funny thing, do you guys remember, like, when you were younger? I remember some of my earliest internet memories, besides being in weird chat rooms and being asked by old men to send pictures. There was, like, looking, like, after Red and Blue came out and Yellow, it was like seeing what the next generation of Pokemon would be when there were new Pokemon leaks, and there was talk about Pika Blue, which ended up being Meryl. Remember
Oh
that?
my God, Peekaboo!
Yeah, see? That's part of the fun.
I know, but,
And
like,
now
as a
now that we're in the
26-year-old, I don't
internet
feel it.
generation, but the internet generation, it's still, the game isn't made, hilariously enough, the game isn't made for our generation anymore, but we're the ones who are still playing it. Meanwhile, the games that are made for us are being played by 13-year-olds. It's bad parenting overall. But, I mean, it's trying to bring the magic that we all had when we first got Pokemon to younger people. Do you remember when you first got your Game Boy and you played Pokemon the first
Oh
time you got
my
to pick?
I played it
God.
over so
Insane
many
that is?
times.
Oh
Also,
my God!
if I can bitch for a quick second,
Go for it.
Nintendo has re-released onto their illustrious eShop downloadable virtual console copies of Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow.
Mhm.
$10 each.
Which is amazing. Personally, I think so.
See, there's your thing. Nigga, I've been playing Pokemon Yellow on my phone for like 10 years now.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I
For
can understand
free.
that. Yeah.
$10?
$10 to only play it on the Wii U. On the
If
Wii U,
you-
might I add.
Right. If you think about it logically, though, like, is the game worth $10? Like, yes, technically it is. And didn't they add like new features? Didn't they add like the ability to like
no.
online or something like that?
No.
You can
No.
okay. The only new feature is that you can take the Pokemon from Red, Blue, and Yellow and put them in Pokemon Bank, which is a paid service.
Oh, I
and,
thought I
and
remember
put
them
them into
saying
the
something.
new games.
I thought I
Yeah.
remember saying them something like you can like trade with your friends or something like that when they were like
You
re-releasing
might be
for
able
like
to do
the.
that. You might be able to do that. I haven't looked at it at all, but like, my
Right.
thing is, people are so excited about this. They're like, finally, I can nostalgia hard as fuck and play the games that I've always wanted to play, and you have been playing for the past 20 years
But
on your phone.
again, it's only Wii U.
No, it's
Yes.
3DS.
It is on 3DS.
Okay,
Yeah.
but so, like if it's only Wii U, then it's like weird. But like 3DS, like that's a great price point. I think that's very smart. We're talking
You know,
about like
it's a handheld
like a
thing,
like a
and-
like a
It's just
17-year-old
dumb.
game, 20-year-old
It's just
game.
dumb.
You know,
Because
personally,
that-
I like supporting my
That
like
game
you know.
is $10.
Yeah.
And the best Game Boy Color game of all time, Pokemon trading card game, is $6.
Yo, that game.
I
is so
don't think
good.
they price around your opinions.
They should, because
I will say-
fucked up.
I
That
will say
game's gone.
one.
Like, fuck you.
One really cool thing that they did do for the Virtual Console release is they didn't change anything. The missing no is still there. The random encounter glitch to like make Mew appear still
Right.
there. Every single glitch in
It's
those
legit.
games.
It's a carbon copy, which is why I'm saying it's weird.
Right.
So, and you can also trade up to the current gen, correct?
No.
Or
You can put
will
it.
be
You
able
can put
to,
it in
right?
Pokemon Bank if you subscribe to Pokemon Bank. You can put the Pokemon from Red, Blue, and Yellow into their paid Pokemon storage service.
So you can get Mew then, in theory.
Yeah, but I mean,
No.
you can get Mew like a million other ways too.
Why are you saying
Well,
no?
you can hack to get new. You don't even have to hack. You just fucking hex abuse.
I don't know what that means. All right,
It's
well,
just
It's
like
speed
cheating
running
the game.
we're
strats.
running out of time here. We need to do a hypothetical.
Well, before the hypothetical,
there was a
just
brief
just
update.
to close out on Pokemon really quick.
Sure.
New generation, new Pokemon, new place most likely, and the one thing everybody's excited for and hoping for, which this is the one thing we've always hoped for since Gen 3, because Gen 2 did it and Gen 3 did not. Let's go to other regions and get badges.
Right. Right.
Let's just have the whole world.
Could you imagine that?
That would be pretty hype. Like
That
have
would-
it more open. Yeah.
That would honestly be the best game.
They kind of
Nah,
hinted at it.
They
in
like
X
their
and Y.
formula. It's easy to produce. They just change a few things to keep making them, and it prints money.
It does print money. That's the thing. But what if they took this game and put you back in Kanto and said, "All right, when you're done here, travel here, travel there," and they change stuff. So it's not the same old gym leaders that you fought 10 years ago. This is what's so fun about Pokemon. Imagining what they could do with it.
I know that they just won't. That's why I'm like, all right, whatever.
Don't break my heart, man.
All right, real quick before we close out, we do have an update on the enemy situation.
Yes, we do.
One of the enemy owners posted on the Smite subreddit, you know, the Reddit that hates Brandon for being a jackass, which is a direct
Right.
parallel
Answer.
to the Dota one, which loves Too Good for being a jackass. We get it.
Opposite, not parallel.
Whatever. Well, they're like they're parallel worlds, but they're opposite.
Yeah.
So, like, what's parallel and backwards?
Opposite.
No opposite. Yeah.
I don't know. We'll get back
It's
to that.
opposite.
We'll get back to that. Next week's episode will be geometry. So Enemy Frank writes, for context, I'm one of the owners of Enemy and helped create the Smite team. I also helped make this decision. Salt and Vicium are unwilling to continue working with Payne, despite him being willing to work with them on creating a better team environment. Throughout the discussions, it became clear to us that even if Payne was forced off the team, the communication problems and unwillingness to work with the team to prove that Salt and Vicium were showing would persist. Tonight, I told them that we would be siding with Payne in the dispute, but were more than willing to keep them on the team if they were willing to work with the team. They acted childishly in response and were unwilling to communicate. That echoes, they were an ass. I watched this team grow over the past 6 months and saw underdogs rise up to become a very good team. I'm so sorry that this iteration of the team had to end this way, but Vicium and Salt gave us no choice. We had to choose between siding with someone who's cooperating and trying to keep the team together, Payne, and two people unwilling to accept anything but us firing Payne, Salt and Vicium. It was an easy choice to make. That seems rational. Pain is still kind of a jackass. I can understand why they wouldn't be like thrilled or scared, or like we created a hostile team environment knowing that the previous team was just fucking cut off by Pain. Like that's a very good reason.
Right.
But if they can't pull it together to be a team, then I have no sympathy for them. That's just I mean, if I didn't just yell in this podcast about being professional in esports for nothing, right? So I kind of have to agree with Frank's statement. Anyone else?
Yeah,
I
I,
mean,
I think that's the general consensus, honestly.
All right, cool. Well, that's our update. I'm sure this shitstorm will kick up over the
That
next
can't
week or
be
so.
all that's going to happen. There's
Yeah,
going to
no,
be more
hopefully.
posts.
Let's not forget, guys. These are children. Anything can happen. So we need a hypothetical. If you, for Generation 7 of Pokemon, what new mechanic would you add to the battles to make it better? Fats?
Wait, what?
What would be, in your opinion, the best addition to the to combat mechanics that Generation 7 of Pokemon could make?
Combat mechanics? You should probably ask me last so I can think about it since I'm the only one who really plays
Alright,
competitive.
I'll start.
The ability to summon Sonic.
That's...
Let's see. This is why I was giving him shit, Fats. This is why.
What a loser. What a champ, bro.
I don't know. Yeah, like I don't play as much Pokemon, so it's hard for me. Come to me second.
Alright, I'll
No,
just...
no.
I'll
PBat,
start.
What would make you want to play the game?
What make
That's
me
a
want to
better
play the game?
hypothetical. What would make what could they put in Generation 7 that would make you want to play it for real?
It's not a better
Like
hypothetical.
really enjoy it.
That's just a better... That's what I'm getting at. That's a real question I'm asking.
Yeah. I don't know, man. To me, it's just the formula has always remained the same. Like I don't know. Maybe I'd like to do more stuff, like other than
Which is
just
what
fight
they add
Pokemon.
every game.
But I know. Maybe I just haven't looked too much into it. Like maybe I haven't looked far enough into it. Like maybe
I'm
I've been
gonna set you
missing
up
a
with
lot
some
of
cute
stuff.
shit. I got you.
All right,
Alright.
cool.
Here's what I would add. I would add for the ability for Pokemon to be gay, so that I could feel more included.
Well, you can't make.
Just kidding. I'm not
Just-
Tumblr. Fuck that shit.
It's
It's
like,
entertainment. I don't give a shit.
can't like Genghis-Khan do something like that, or is that?
No.
Or oh, okay.
No, Genghis-Khan just is gay.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
There are there are species locked Pokemon that can't mate and create their own juniors because it's the mother the Pokemon is always the mother, and the dad passes down moves and stuff like, here you go, son, here's my money, like shit like that. And in order to get like a girl, not a girl, but a baby Hitmonlee because they're only males, like Hitmonlee gotta fuck a Ditto.
Nice. That's right.
Ditto is pansexual.
Yeah. I don't feel safe though looking at I almost said dildo.
I mean, he can
Purple
become it
cum?
if you want.
No. We need to wrap this up. Keep giving your answers, people.
Alright, Cyan.
I'm gonna steal something out of Fire Emblem. It'd be cool if Pokemon could like pair up where one gives like the other one a stat boost of some kind, but doesn't actually get to act. So you can have a Pokemon that wouldn't
Fire
normally.
Emblem?
Yeah, straight out of Fire Emblem Awakening, like that pair up shit.
Did you ever play Pokemon Conquest?
No. Fats,
No,
answer the
I
hypothetical.
didn't play Pokemon Conquest.
Me neither. It sucked. Anyway, I already talked about what I want. If you want
PBat,
to go back and do everything,
I
it
said
would be awesome.
it.
we're all done?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Alright, well that's the show. Thank you all for watching. It's been super fun. I say that every fucking week. Every time I listen to this thing, I was like, this has been super fun. It hasn't been fun. I'm stressing out about my fucking computer. I see my FPS dropping, and like I have very low CPU usage right now, and I have no idea what the fuck is going on. And maybe that's why I snapped earlier. But thank you. It has been a degree of fun greater than which I could have expected.
That's
Okay.
a good way of saying it's been fun.
Follow us on Twitter. I'm at Smatter. Fats at ZooFats. PBat, you're at PaperbatVG, and Cyan's at Cyan. Follow dmbrandon too if you don't already, but you probably do. Do not follow him. Do not. I did not call you Chris. Do not follow him on the highway. He will run you off the road. Thank you. Good night, and we'll see you next week. And please just behave professionally on the internet. You fucking 9-year-olds.